you and I visited, it was before the Homeland Security Committee. And I asked you a number of questions there, you, including some for the record, you answered those, which I appreciated. One question that I ask you, and I ask every nominee actually on that committee and this one, is whether or not the nominee has ever litigated against a religious liberty claim. Usually the answer to that's no. In your case, you answered yes, and you listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different cases over a period of years, actually, in which you have litigated against individuals or churches' religious liberty claims. So let's just talk about a few of those, if we could. Let's start with some of your work during COVID. Case you list here, Capitol Hill Baptist Church versus Bowser. Do you remember that case?
Yes, Senator.
You remember working on that case?
Yes, Senator.
This was a case involving the district's lockdown policies that shut down churches in the district. Is that correct?
It concerned litigation over provision of the lockdown policies. The policies restricted all types of activity in the district.
All types of activity in the district?
Yes, Senator.
Did it restrict mass protests in the district?
Well, it restricted activities that one normally expected, including work, going to stores. It also did include these provisions that were challenged concerning churches.
So it exempted unusual or unlikely activities that's in the statute, that's in the ordinance?
When the mayor was enacting these orders at the outset of the pandemic, I think she was trying to be as comprehensive as she could, and the order did restrict a number of daily activities of district residents.
But it exempted mass protests?
I don't believe it said anything one way or another.
Can you point me to the text where it exempted mass protests?
I don't believe it said anything one way or another.
Of course it didn't, because it didn't exempt mass protests, right? You know that.
I think it was silent on the issue because I don't believe it was contemplated by the mayor's office.
Ah, so you think that mass protests should be in a different category than religious observances? Is that your position?
I think if there were protests on the book, then the mayor might have thought about that when she was enacting the COVID-19 restrictions. But I think she was trying to protect public health.
So you think it's fine to say to religious people that they are prohibited from gathering outside, wearing a mask, socially distanced. They can't do it. But if you want to come and protest, defund the police, if you want to support that, that's fine. You can gather en masse, person to person, close up, thousands of people. That's okay.
Senator, that is not my position.
Hello, everybody. Welcome one and all to the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nasir. And what's on tap for today? Well, as you can see, our favorite senator, Josh Hawley, is grilling another nominee for a judgeship. Let's continue with the video, and I'll give you my reactions as we go along.
I did not write these orders. What I said...
You defended it in court, and you just articulated to me what I take to be your position.
What I was doing in a Capitol Hill Baptist Church was defending the mayor, my client, against a constitutional challenge to one aspect of the COVID-19 restrictions. We understood that strict scrutiny applies.
How did that case go for you?
We lost that case.
Why?
It was found that the restrictions...
Unconstitutional!
Meaning they were unconstitutional.
Meaning that they did not survive strict scrutiny.
Unconstitutional!
The District of Columbia did not appeal that decision.
Why? Why were they struck down?
Excuse me, Senator?
Why were the restrictions that you defended struck down as discriminatory? Why were they?
Unconstitutional!
Did not satisfy...
Why didn't they?
The court concluded that there were restrictions that were not neutral of general applicability.
Yeah. Why didn't they on the facts? You know the facts. You were a good lawyer.
Good job, Josh. Go, press him.
Because applying the strict scrutiny test, the court concluded that the restrictions were not narrowly tailored to serve a compelling governmental interest.
This lady just won't say it. She's not going to say it, folks. Unconstitutional, honey. Let me mansplain it to you. Unconstitutional. Basically, broad overreach of this idiot, moronic, retarded mayor's, policy at the time. A lot of things were happening during COVID, and a lot of people in power just let it go to their heads, and they said, you know what? Sure, we'll just tell everybody to stay at home and shut your doors and stay put, right? But if you want to go out and protest en masse against anything, oh, that's perfectly fine as long as you're protesting leftist ideas, progressive ideas, Democrat ideas, liberal ideas. But if you want to protest something conservative, forget about it. We're going to lock you up.
Because?
Senator,
Oh, come on, Judge. Don't make me do this. Do you want me to go through it for you? You lost because Mayor Bowser was going to mass protests herself personally with thousands of people celebrating them. By the way, which is fine. We have a First Amendment in the United States. I want to be clear. That is totally fine. You want to protest? Go for it. I think that's totally fine. That wasn't the problem here. At the same time she was doing that, she was prohibiting churches, religious people, from gathering socially distanced outside wearing masks. And the district court said, you can't do that. That's discrimination. You can't separate people out based on their ideological beliefs or their positions. You can't do that, right? Isn't that what the district court said?
the district court said that
Do you agree with
the
it?
could not survive strict scrutiny.
For those reasons, right? Why are you fighting me on this? I can't figure this out.
I am not fighting you, Senator.
Yes, she is. She's fighting you. She just doesn't want to say the words because she's a stupid, idiotic, moronic retard. Simmer. Always use that acronym, folks. She just can't. She just won't say it. She just, the words don't even form in here. To the esophagus and to the oral cavity and through her mouth with her lips and her tongue. They just don't form to say yes. It was discriminatory. She just can't say the words, folks. She just can't say it.
So yes, you agree. That's what the district court said.
That was what the district court concluded.
Do you think they got it right? The district court get it right?
The district court, we did not appeal that decision. I think that district court decision is consistent with rulings that we got from the Supreme Court clarifying the application of the religious test to COVID-19 restrictions in Tandon and the Brooklyn Archdiocese.
My time's almost expired, and I know other senators want to ask questions, so let me just very quickly here. Do you think it's wrong to discriminate on the basis of religious faith?
Absolutely, Senator.
Why did you argue that religious services, religious people pose a greater risk of infection than people gathered to argue for defunding the police?
I was representing my client. The mayor and consulting epidemiologists had issued orders that she thought were going to protect public health.
She was a freaking retard is what she was. What epidemiologists, what doctors were telling you, come on, okay, this is just absolutely stupid and ridiculous. So you're telling me that some actual epidemiologists, some doctors were actually saying that it was okay to protest close quarters without masks or with masks at a protest and you're bunched together, thousands of people there. That's perfectly fine for these doctors and epidemiologists. Nothing is going to be spread there, nothing at all. But God forbid you decide to go to a church or a synagogue or a mosque or whatever, and you are even out. We're not even talking about being inside. But you're outside in the fresh air, and you're still wearing a goddamn stupid freaking mask. And you're telling me that your epidemiologists and your scientists and your doctors told that idiot mayor of yours, Bowser, that it is medically sound to tell those people who protest outdoors at a place of worship that they need to be shut down, but you can have all kind of protests for your leftist ideas and lead that charge as a mayor, and that's not going to what? COVID doesn't spread in leftist ideas, only in conservative ones? Unbelievable, folks. Freaking believable.
It was my role to defend those as a
Why did you make that argument? That seems like a strange argument to me, that religious people are somehow, more infectious than folks who have other ideological positions? I don't get it.
My understanding was the nature of singing and other things epidemiologists thought could transmit COVID at a higher rate.
You didn't put any scientific evidence on the record for it?
Senator, those were fast-moving cases, and they weren't going to full briefing and full summary judgment.
Fast-moving
The
cases!
district court said that you engaged in, and your client engaged in, and you defended discrimination on the basis of
Abso-freaking-lutely!
Evidence for it, that you pressed these arguments over and over and over without any foundation. Frankly, I'm disappointed that you made those arguments. You can choose what arguments to make. I'm disappointed you made those arguments. I'm disappointed you persisted in defending them here today. And for that reason, among others, I will not support your nomination. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Way to go, Josh Hawley. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Telling that judge to her face, I absolutely will not be able to confirm. We'll push your nomination through. Sorry, honey. But you know what? You're out of here. Way to go, Josh. Thank goodness that we have got senators and people in government that at least are looking out for us. They're few, can probably count them okay on our fingers. That's about it. I don't even know if that many, but you can count them that at least are looking out and at least doing something, facing the wrath of, the left, facing the wrath of the media, facing the wrath of everybody else in basically standing up and saying, look, for both sides, for both things are the issues. I'm sure if there was a mayor or someone that had done something to, let's say, okay, allow church going or religious minded people going to their places, but saying, you know what, you can't go to a protest outside against that or against something else, or protest for whatever other reason, liberal, leftist, progressive idea, and you can't do that, we'll arrest you. He would have said the exact same thing, and so would have I. And so would every other conservative out there. Because it's not about crushing people with the tyranny of law or oppressing them with the tyranny of law. It's allowing the law to be equal for everybody, folks, without discrimination. Anyways, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your host, Dr. Nasir. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, like, share, and follow us. You know what to do. Check out our links above and below for other videos that you can take a look at. We appreciate the time that you do so. Leave you with my final thought, which is, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. Until next time, folks, take care and stay safe.